Everybody, my name is Moses, and today we are going to learn about the difference between even, odd, prime numbers. So the first type of number we're going to look at is even number. So what is even number? So let me give an explanation here of what an even number is. So I'm gonna start with even number, the definition of even number. So even number are those number, or rather it's a number which can be divided by 2. So any number that you think about which when you divide by 2 the remaining is 0, or which the number which you divide and the remaining is 0, that is an even number. So the definition is it's a number that is divisible by 2. So I'm going to give some examples here just to show you the examples that we can think about here. Okay, so the examples that I have here are very simple. So for example, the first example that I want to say, okay, so if you look at the number line from 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So from this number line, if we look at the numbers which are divisible by 2, you can see that number 1 here is not divisible by 2. Number 2 is divisible by 2 because when you divide it by 2 you get a 1 without a remainder. And then number 3, it's not divisible by 2. Number 4 can be divided by 2. This makes it an even number. And then so this makes this one an even number. Number 2 makes it an even number. Okay, number 2 is an even number. And then when you look 5, it cannot be divided by 2. So when you look at this number, 6 can be divided by 2 to be 3, and so this can be divided by 2. And then 7 is not divisible by 2 because if you divide it you're going to get a remainder of 1. So 8 cannot be divided by 8 is divided by 2. 9 is not divided by 2 because when you divide it you get a remainder of 1. And then 10 is divided by 2. So these numbers here that I've listed here, these are the numbers that can be divided by 2, which is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So these numbers here, these are the numbers which can be divided by 2, which is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. 1 is excluded here. Okay, so that's that for even numbers. I hope you've understand. So you can do some exercises. So let's give some example and then you're going to tell me if they are even number or not even number. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first one is, what do you think the number 52 is? Is 52 an even or not an even number? Okay, 52 is even. What about the number 63? Is 63 even or not even? It is not even. Okay, is the next number is let's say something like 21. Is 21 an even number or not even number? Not even number. Okay, So that's that for even numbers. So the next number that we are going to talk about is the odd number. So let's go to the odd number. So the odd number, so what is an odd number? Okay, what is an odd number? Odd number, okay, odd number. So basically, or rather simply put, an odd number is a number that cannot be divisible by 2. A number that cannot be divisible by 2. So basically, odd numbers are opposite of even number. So as we said, remember, even number is a number that can be divisible by 2, while an odd number is a number that cannot be divisible by 2. So let's look at some of the examples. Okay, so let's look at the examples. So let's write some number line here, like from number 1 to 10. So on this number line, we can start from the first number. So the first number here is 1. So 1 is not divisible by 2, so this makes it an odd number. 2 is divisible, so this is not an odd number. 3 is not divisible by 2, so this makes it an odd number. 4 is divisible by 2, which makes it an even number. 5 is not divisible by 2, which makes it an odd number. 7 is not divisible by 2, which makes it an odd number. 8 is divided by 2. 9 cannot be divided by 2, so this makes it an odd number. And 10 can be divided by 2, so this makes it not an odd number. So this is the example that I was talking about. So this number line. So I'm gonna do some numbers, and you are going to tell me if the numbers are odd or not odd. Okay, so let's start. So the first number is, let's say, 99. So what do you think 99 is? Do you think it's an odd number? Yes, it is an odd number. It's an odd number. Okay, let's go to the second one. The second one is 345. So is 345 an odd number? Yes, it is an odd number. Okay, you're doing good. So the next number is 672. So is 672 an odd number? No, it is not an odd number. So this is the example, and I hope you've understand what an odd number is. So let's go to the next type of number, which is the prime number. Okay, so we're going to the prime number. Okay, so the question that you're supposed to ask yourself now, what is the prime number? The prime number, as a definition for prime number, this is a number. This is a number that is divisible by 1 and itself, including 1 or any natural number which is divisible by 1 and itself except 1. Okay? This is a number divisible by 1 and itself. Like, it's only divided by 1 and itself only. No other word can enter inside it. Okay? So that's what we are trying to say. So basically what it means is, it's kind of like odd number, but for prime number, the only number that can divide prime number is either 1 or the number itself. So we're gonna look at the examples here. So let's show you some example. So let's write down the number line so that we can use the number line from 1 to 10 to demonstrate for you. Okay, so let's start with the first number. So number 1, so if you look at number 1, we are going to exclude it. We don't label it as a prime number because of some, we don't label number 1 as prime number. So if you look at number 2 can be divided by 1 and can also be divided by 2. So this makes it a prime number. Yeah, so it's a prime number because it can be divided by 1 and can also be divided by the number itself, which is 2. So the second number is number 3. This number 3 can be divided by 1 and can only be divided by itself. Okay, when we look at number 4 can be divided by 1. It can also be divided by 2, and it can also be divided by itself, which is 4. So this is not a prime number. Okay, so the second one, this can only be divided by 1 and can only be divided by 5 itself. So this is a prime number. If you go to 6 can be divided by 1 and it can also be divided by 3, and it can also be divided by itself, which is 6. So this is not a prime number. When you go to 7 can be divided by 1, but it can also be divided by 7 itself, and no other number can be divided into 7. So 7 is a prime number. We go to 8 can be divided by 1. It can also be divided by 2. It can also be divided by 4, and it can also be divided by 8 itself. So this has a lot of numbers which is divisible into it. So 8 is not a prime number. Okay, so let's go to 9. 9 can be divided by 1. It can also be divided by 3, and it can also be divided by itself, which makes it not a prime number. If you go to 10 can be divided by 1, and it can also be divided by 5, and it can also be divided by 2 and itself. So this is not a prime number. So out of all these numbers, the prime numbers here are 2, 3, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's do some exercise. Let me show you some exercises. See if you can figure out which one are prime numbers. So let's start 11. So what do you think? Do you think 11 is a prime number or not a prime number? It is a prime number. Okay, it is a prime number because the only number that can be divided into it is either 1 or itself. So let's go to the next one. The next one, let's say 17. Is 17 a prime number? Yes, it is. Yes, it is a prime number. Yes, it is a prime number. Let's go to the next one. The next one is The next one is a number like 25. Do you think 25 is a prime number based on what we've discussed? No, 25 is not a prime number because it can be divided by 1, and it can also be divided by 5, and it can also be divided by the number itself. So this makes it not a prime number. So that's that I have for you guys. So guys, please go and check out example, try to understand the concept that I've taught you guys, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand what all this even, odd, and prime number means. Just for recap, even number are numbers which can be divided by 2. Odd numbers are numbers which cannot be divided by 2, while prime numbers are numbers which can only be divided by 1 and itself only, nothing else. Okay, so I hope you've understand this lesson about the numbers, and please guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and ask me any question about the topic of today, and I'll be able to answer it for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I do hope you have a lovely day, night, or evening. Cheers.